Carly Agro joins us now, and as we mentioned right off the top, she's probably one of the happiest people in Woodminster because the Chucks are back.
Yes, and it was such an exciting weekend. It was a busy weekend in North Battleford and a very successful one for a lot of young drivers. Well, after 2 days of qualifying heats, all eyes were on the final heat of the night in North Battleford. Vern Nolan and his Bob Jack sheet metal outfit on barrel number 1 were hooked against defending Canada Cup champ Gary Gorst on barrel 2, and it was Rusway Construction's 007 Roger Moore on the outside at barrel number 3.
There's the sound of the horn, and our final heat of the night is underway.
Gorst and Nolan headed into the first corner almost wheel to wheel. The orange and black of Roger Moore was trailing behind by nearly an entire wagon's length. Out of the first turn, though, Nolan got a hold of the inside rail. Double G tries to catch up and challenge the Bob Jack sheet metal outfit. Down the backstretch, Nolan starts to pull away. He gets a bit of an edge, about a quarter of a wagon's length over Gorst as the equine adrenaline starts to pump heading into the third turn. Gorst turns it up and on. He tries to catch up to Nolan, but Nolan powers through and has enough in the tank to extend his lead to a full length as the outfits approach the Grizzly Automotive finish line. Moore is catching up. He fights Gorst for second, but it was Nolan who took it by a full length. All right, so here is a look at the top day money on day 3. You can see the young drivers doing incredibly well. You've got Jamie Labacane there who took top day money with a 101.03. Logan Gorst there coming in at second, and then you've got Shane Nolan there in third. Now Nolan was also quick to credit the experience of the horses that he hooked. This was Nolan's third best time, and it came early in the first heat. He was quick to recognize the strong field.
Yeah, it's nice to get the first one under your belt. You know, we've been training there, like I say, for a couple months there, and then we've been driving probably 3 weeks. So it's nice to get out there and actually get them in a real wagon race. Like, they've been drove lots at home, and you know which ones are looking good there, but it's always a little different in competition.
Every night you have no idea, you know, who's going to take that top day money, and the track did not play a factor. Sometimes the track will play a factor in the earlier heats or whatever the case may be, but that wasn't the case here this weekend. And any night, any guy can take top day money.
Well, the big story of the weekend was CPCA second-year driver Logan Gorst. Gorst qualified for this year's Calgary Stampede after a stellar rookie campaign last season that saw him finish 9th overall in CPCA Pro Tour standings. In the 9th heat, the flames on his freshly painted wagon came to life.
Horn sounds, gentlemen. Jim Knight in the middle barrel. North Sask Farm Equipment barrel has got a good turn from the outside. Is Shane Nolan, but it's Shane Nolan to the rail. Logan Gorst is running 3 wide, but can he get out there to get the rails? He's got the rail.
Gorst was hooked against JNR Trucking Shane Nolan and Ziegler's Oilfield Consulting's Jim Knight. He came flying around barrel 3, clinched the rail, and took a wagon's length lead and never looked back. Gorst 101.4 helped to win the first event of the year.
It means a lot. I didn't expect this at all. I was trying to finish up as high as I could, and it came kind of as a surprise. But, you know, this is what you work towards all spring and all fall. So, you know, it feels good to, you know, get a win under the belt.
Nolan ran 2 wide against Knight, but he couldn't catch Gorst. His 102.98 in the 9th helped him show 3rd overall. The 12-year vet was impressed with the competition.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice outfits out there. You know, there was heats won or day money on different heats every night pretty well. They were, you know, you could pull a second out of heat 9, or you could pull a first out of heat 11, or wherever.
Well, every year you come here, this association's getting stronger and stronger, and some of the younger guys, like, they're getting stronger too, and you know, you got the experience of the older guys, and yeah, this association's getting a lot stronger.
Our young guns, like Devin Mitswing, Logan Gorst, Jamie Labacane, BJ Carey, the list goes on. They continue to mature and get better on the racetrack, and you combine that with the veteran drivers and the champions we have here. You know, the Canadian Professional Chuck Wagon Association, the CPCA SIGA Pro Tour is solid.
Here is a look at the final top 5 after the first event of the season. You can see the young guns there, Logan Gorst and Devin Mitswing, both entering their second seasons as drivers, making the grade. Also, Gord McCallum, who finished 20th in last year's CPCA standings, raced his way into second place this weekend. More proof that on any given day, on any given night, any driver, outfitter, outrider can rise to the top. Now, next up for the CPCA SIGA Pro Tour is a 3-day stop in St.Walburg.
Now next weekend I'm going to start slotting in some new horses, you know, hooking one here and there off of each barrel and getting them ready for Calgary, because I'm going to need that extra bit of run for Calgary because it's a 5/8 track.
Talking to certain guys behind the barns, they hooked some horses this week and taken a chance, and you know, I don't think they got the results they were looking for, and more than likely they're going to get that fixed up for next weekend.
Regis Philbin spent 3 years trying to give away $1 million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Well, closer to home, the Lloydminster Kiwanis Club has been trying to do the same with a little help from the Lloydminster Golf and Curling Center. Aaron Strack brings us a story from the links and finds out if anyone broke the bank.
Over 60 golfers were taking aim from 160 yards out, hoping to sink it in one shot and cash in.
For my first attempt, you know, a little nervous. You know, you always get a little bit nervous, but, you know, I hit a few good shots. I think I got one on the green there, so we'll see how it turns out.
I just want to get to the finals and hopefully win $1 million.
To put a ball into that cup from 160 yards is not the easiest thing in the world, but it can be done. And just because it hasn't been done doesn't mean that it won't be done.
And it was done earlier in the week during qualifications.
We had a couple of hole-in-ones from 95 yards, so people rolled them in, and they just want a chance to shoot here today for the $1 million. But it's fun to watch that, no matter what. If you're a golfer and you see a hole-in-one, that's always fun.
Felt pretty good, you know, to see that ball go towards the hole, and then, you know, it disappears, and you know, you look around, see if anybody else saw it, and they did, so it was pretty good.
In 9 years, people have stuck it close, but nobody has ever jarred it.
Would you feel expected to be buying everybody beers afterwards?
If I won $1 million, I would. If I won anything else, probably not.
Holland and the rest of the flight didn't have to worry about starting a large drink tab. The streak continued, nobody sunk it in one. Organizers say the event grows each year with more people gunning for the mill, and it all comes back to benefit the community.
It's one of our premier events for our Kiwanis Club. The money that we raise stays right here in Lloydminster, and it's used to help kids in this town.
Aaron Strack, New Cap Sports.
Now, Harlan Lessick was the closest to the pin. I believe he was about 10.5 inches away. Very close, so he ended up going home with a very cool $1,000. Well, 2 years ago, when the Border City hosted a Saskatchewan Amateur Bodybuilding Association competition for the first time, tickets sold out. Well, Saturday night, the Double L packed the house once again to watch on as the biggest and the buffest in the land of the living skies had to offer strutted their stuff on stage. This time around, 5 local bodybuilders stole the spotlight and proved when it comes to bodies, the Border City can flex with the best. Aaron Strack has more now on the national qualifying event.
There's some stiff competition, but, you know, they're holding their own.
Renee Weinkoff and Travis Robertson competed in their third competition Saturday night in front of their hometown crowd.
The vibe from the crowd, I felt like I was on cloud 9. I don't think there's an alcohol or a drug that can make me feel the way I was out there. I can just feel the passion from Lloydminster rooting for me, no matter if I took first or last.
When you can perform in your hometown, it makes a world of difference. Like even going to Calgary last year was good because I mean I had people come and watch, but to come here and have the level of support that this community does for events like this, I mean it's awesome. It's really blows the roof off the joint.
Renee and Travis didn't take home any hardware, but it doesn't mean they left empty-handed.
This is the next level before Nationals now, which is the top of Canada. I've never been here before. To be with these guys, awesome group of guys, major competitors. No, I'm not ashamed at all that I didn't place top 3. This was a group of competitors that I was proud to be with.
The level of competitors I was up against this year, I mean, these guys were all in incredible shape. I have no qualms losing to guys that are this caliber.
Both local competitors are planning on taking some time off before returning to the stage.
You know, come back in a couple of years and give her a shot again and see what I can do.
I say it every time I compete that I'm not going to compete, but Masters is coming up at 40. 8 years from now, you never know.
Mark Hurley and Adele Capel didn't capture top spot in their categories, but did place in the top 3. Promoters say the competition went off without a hitch.
The smoothness of it. I mean, everybody here, from the judges to the competitors to the backstage people, have all done their parts to a T. So, I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better.
Aaron Strack, New Cap Sports.
That is your look at sports this evening.